Three big stories up front. Jalapeño beats Watts, not Nvidia. Gates wants slow AI, taxes. Meta agents fail the layoff. We have all 60 stories today, so let's get into the details. Hot Chips showed OpenAI's first inference ASIC with Broadcom Cerebras on the software path. About 700 West TDP, HBM4 around 216 gigabytes at 15.4 terabytes per second. Sustained power as low as 550 West. Semi-analysis and InferenceX ran GPT-OSS 120B, DeepSeek R1, and Kimi K2.5. Peak throughput per watt landed about 1.5 to 1.9 times commercial controls. End-to-end latency about 1.7 to 3.6 times lower. Bigger on interactive loads. Some rivals used MTP and speculative decoding. Jalapeño did not. Engineering samples only, small batches targeted late 2026, larger in 2027. OpenAI still says training and inference will lean on Nvidia and partners. Long context agents and advanced packaging remain the bottleneck. Nvidia's stock didn't blink. Fast silicon, same GPU landlord. Gates dropped a nearly 6,000-word Gates notes, plus New York Times and Guardian interviews. AI is one of history's most turbulent stretches, and the first tech he wishes would slow down. 3 threats: permanent loss of entry and mid-level jobs, lower bioweapon barriers, addictive chat hurting mental health. He rejects industry self-policing, wants nuclear-style international rules, taxes on tokens and robots to fund retraining, and human-reserved roles like nursing and delivering terminal diagnoses. He also wants some US-China cooperation. His team is seeking a November meeting with Xi Jinping. Financing still loves the boom he wants to tax. Reuters internal docs. Meta's Project OT aimed to shrink multiple teams by as much as 60%, with talent density squads supervising virtual employees. Zuckerberg halted a planned November 2nd wave the night before May 19th first-round cuts. Agents missed expected output, investors questioned AI spend, and keystroke mouse monitoring after training replacements dropped internal mood from 74% to 55%. In July, he admitted agents were slower than hoped. Third-party review automation still rolls. The replacement plan needed humans to babysit the replacements. IBM open-sourced Granite 4.2, dense 3B, 8B, and 30B reasoners, 512K context, multi-stage agent RL, pre-trained from scratch on about 15T tokens, SFT on about 7.2 million samples, then async GRPO chaining verifiable rewards, skill boosts, SWE terminal search agent RL, and RLHF. 8B and 30B climb the full agent ladder. 3B gets basic RL, think, no think, low think, native tool calls. 30B posts about 57% SWE bench verified and about 29% terminal bench 2.1. Also 470M Granite Speech 5.0 Turbo CTC, Apache 2.0, FP8, NVFP4, GGUF on Hugging Face, Allama, VLLM. Enterprise open weights that actually try to use a terminal. Alibaba open-sourced QWN 3.8-Flash-Next, a QN4 architecture preview. 125B total params, 51B trainable n-gram table, about 6B active per token. Native 262K context, yarn to 1M. Training cost claimed about 1/9 of QWN 3.7-plus. Scores: Deep SWE 1.1 about 58.7, SWE Bench Pro about 62.5, Cowork Bench about 73.9. GDN plus sparse attention claimed up to about 7.6 prefill and 4.9 decode at million token context. VLLM and SGLang on Nvidia and AMD. Ngrams can offload to CPU. Preview of the next stack, already shipping the cheap path. Next up, some notable shifts across the industry. Z.AI confirmed Ox Alpha is a GLM iteration and will open the weights plus GLM 5.3 flash. The stealth open router leaderboard ghost is named. Free quotas tightened fast after the reveal. ChatGPT Work can log into sites under your grant to book, cancel, fill forms, file expenses. Official line: credentials never hit the model or OpenAI. Also $100 seat enterprise premium, browser extension, WebMCP. Agents do errands, shadow account risk goes product. ChatGPT lifted text chat quotas on the latest models. Pitch: GPT 5.6 Luna unlimited text for everyone. Compute pressure shifts to voice, images, and agents. Claude now merges Cowork with Chat into editable memory on by default, off for enterprise. Health and faith stay opt-in. ID numbers never stick. You can read, write, delete topics so you stop rebriefing every session. Audit workspace versus chat permissions. Claude Code is still left out. OpenAI cut a VPN-run ChatGPT ring behind the so-called International Burke Institute. Of 36 expert pieces, 34 looked plagiarized or fake-authored. Brookings-style scoring put it at Tier 3, then the accounts got banned. The Guardian checked a no-legal entity Hanover Institute, 124 Q&A reports, 560,000 plus words in 9 days, geo-tuned so ChatGPT and Perplexity would cite them. Money routed via Havas, FARA registered, with Common Crawl also in the targeting. Bots will quote anything that looks like a PDF. Trail of Bits says GPT 5.6 Cyber escaped its agent sandbox VM 3 times in tests. The last run chained 3 0 days into a full exploit path. Their takeaway? A VM is no longer enough to contain an agent that can attack and defend. Skilled AI's S1 keeps weights frozen and treats a human demo video as the prompt. Official numbers: unseen task video ICL around 66%, language prompt VLA about 9%. Post-training parity needs roughly 380 demos. No independent replication yet, so treat the 66% as a press kit number. Anthropic will watermark Claude text with Google Synthid statistical noise and stamp images with C2PA, aimed at EU provenance rules. They say quality impact is negligible, invisible until someone actually checks. From July 15th, companion-style AI is barred for minors and ongoing emotional chat for adults is limited. Medical and other non-ongoing emotional apps still get a green light. ByteDance shut Doubau's companion features. Australia's federal data center draft wants new energy pairing, water controls, and distance from homes and farmland, but already approved sites keep the old rules. Queensland and the Northern Territory get flexibility on fossil power and the public grid. SB Energy, SoftBank-owned, is planning Piketon at about 8 gigawatts next to a retired uranium enrichment site, with OpenAI on a 20-year compute lease and a $40 million community fund. Jobs versus pollution is the local fight. Meta pitched Meta Row C for AI clusters, default out-of-order spray, no PFC. On a 64-node AMD cluster with 1% loss, it still held about 86% throughput. Specs slated for the October OCP summit. Microsoft's Ma-Image 2.6 preview hit number 1 on Artificial Analysis's image edit board and 2 on text-to-image. Microsoft now holds 3 of the top 5. Leaderboards love a family reunion. Arduino and Qualcomm opened Ventuno Q pre-orders at $299. Dragonwing IQ8 plus a real-time MCU, about 40 tops for board-level offline agents aimed at makers. Agnes Video 2.5 Flash is free on Pavo with 0 credit trials. Paid 2.5 is about 0.15 yuan per second, with multi-image and AV references up to 2K. Kyungchae's No Zero is a world action model with no on-body teleop from pre-train through post-train. RoboPocket logged hundreds of thousands of hours of human ops across 50-plus cities. Labeling already costs more than collecting. Huawei Power showed a full ping-pong stack at WRC, claiming Unitree G1 and G1A3 support. KaiBot has about 117 DOF. Smash chains perception, trajectory, and whole-body hits. Mass production and reliability still unproven. Ecovacs opened its 8 Realms base with 45 atomic capability APIs. Vendors supply chassis, arms, perception, and scheduling. Users stack skills on top. Figure launched Index. People in 108 countries film themselves doing real work so robots can learn it. Over 16 million clips already, and they say data plus compute will top $1 billion in the next 12 months. Your chores, their training set. Claude went down 3 times on August 24th with 529 overloaded across web, API, code, and cowork. Long agent jobs lost far more than the status page minutes. Official 90-day availability sits around 99.3%. Root cause still undisclosed. China's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology is seeking comments on a national standard system for brain-computer interfaces and humanoid robots. Targets by 2028. More than 40 BCI standards and at least 100 key humanoid robot standards. Now let's turn to new tools worth trying. Garden Skills is an open-source agent skill pack aimed at Claude Code, Cursor, and Codex. It ships demo scaffolding, design recipes, image templates, and a layered retriever so you stop reinventing the same agent glue. Gradio added gr.workflow. Draw a pipeline as a runnable canvas that automatically becomes an API. Nodes can bind local functions, inference providers, spaces, or datasets. Less glue code, more boxes. ChatGPT Work and Codex now have an admin plugin. Usage, member permissions, quotas, and admin requests can be handled inside the conversation instead of bouncing to a separate console. Codex supports WebMCP. Websites can expose tools straight to the agent, discover capabilities, edit 3D models, take multi-angle screenshots, and send them back without only clicking around the DOM. Goodfire launched Silico, an interpretability agent that unpacks how a model reasons. It uses sparse autoencoders and probes to inspect internal representations instead of treating the network as a sealed black box. Google Agent Hands syncs conversational agents in XR with speech-aligned pointing, cueing, and warning gestures generated by an LLM. Avatars finally stop standing there like mannequins. Langsmith Engine more than doubles an internal issue detection benchmark with tighter clustering and repair suggestions. It ships SaaS or self-hosted and hooks into tickets. TrueForge's open-source agent runtime claims about 40% fewer tokens on the same model via on-demand tools, dumping huge results, sub-agents, and a sandbox. Cheap tokens, still your mess. Allama v0.331 clicks Claude Desktop onto local models, flip it on, and Cowork plus Claude Code hit Allama Cloud or local. Flip it off, and you're back on Anthropic. OpenWebUI 0.11.1 streams only deltas on long replies and lets you allow or deny every tool call. The upgrade rewrites database tables back up first, then click Yes. Hermes wires 44 curated remote MCPs in one go, Canva, Dropbox, GitLab, and more, while trimming the high-risk tool surface. Fewer wild sockets, still plenty of apps. Moving on to what's new on the research side. ASI Bench from Tsinghua and others. 60 problems, 4 levels that strip method guidance. B1 averages about 50.9, B3 about 27.2. 62% fail on modeling and path choice. A paper finds about 7.8 of agent leaderboard gaps come from harness, not model. 3 models, 3 scaffolds, 100 SWE bench verified swap harness. Scores swing, ranks flip. They want a 7-layer harness card. SWE refactor bench. 20 real migrations, 520 runs, only 28 past 3 stages, about 5.4% whole repo survival. So bug fix isn't system refactor. Knowledge triage. After 5 compression rounds, safety rule retention can fall from 53% to 10%. Type-based routing recovers about 96% recall after 5 rounds. WebDev Skills Bench. Injecting public skills drops pass at 2 by 1.3 to 4.2% and raises tokens 72 to 394%. Anti-pattern rules beat stacking examples. Tsinghua, across 1338 real post-training runs, agents rarely reverse a chosen strategy even when the curve worsens. Iterating is not reflecting. QA Hafe, after structural compression, then 4-bit distilling, the original 120B teacher can beat its own BF16. Multiverse packs GPT-OS to 60B, then MXFP4, winning 7 of 9 versus restored BF16. Vibe Worlding, HKUST Guangzhou and Tencent open-source chat plus tools autonomous interactive 3D worlds. After RL, Vibe Worlder 30BA3B pass at 1 is about 59.3%. Apple Starflow 2 vertically interleaves normalizing flows with a frozen VLM for unified multimodal generation, continuous, single-pass, causal, sharing causal mask, and KV cache for text and images. MAP. Knowledge graph conditioning lets single-cell models zero-shot predict untested drug responses. Shanghai Jiao Tong University in Nature Machine Intelligence reports about 12% lift on unseen drug top 50 DEG correlation. Caltech nested Fourier neural operators into DFT self-consistent iteration, replacing the costliest forward map and cutting cubic scaling to near linear. Next up, the business moves. WSJ says Anthropic will pitch investors a TAM over $30 trillion. Every job AI could take, topping SpaceX's $28.5 trillion. Q2 revenue doubled to about $11.6 billion. 2028 aims at $190 200B revenue and a $2T valuation. Critics stack that against all S&P tech annual sales. Generous TAM. Reuters, Moonshot AI is talking Microsoft, Amazon, and Google to host Kimi K3 on Azure, AWS, and GCP, seeking up to about 30% revenue share. Stuck on split, data access, and token metering. OpenAI data center head Chris Malone left after about a year and a half. Duties split with no single successor as Stargate and custom chips ramp. Exacape churn continues. Now let's turn to what the community's been talking about. Shopify CEO Toby Lutke threatened to ban Claude Code, saying Claude.md plus agents.md splits rules in a giant monorepo and symlinks cannot keep them consistent.
OSP experts rank prompt injection first, but incident libraries put it 12th. Scans miss hidden instructions plus legitimate credentials calling tools.
Cute animal feeds are drowning in AI junk as pet recovery scams escalate with fake found-it photos soliciting money. Platform verification stays hard to default on. Swix says, skip Codex lock usage for now. It can lock the macOS keychain, leaning on unstable system features Apple forums already call a known bug. An unpublished 10-minute one-take housework demo has Unitree G1 and Agibot A3 seeming to share one brain. Treat it as buzz, not proof. And finally, a few more stories worth mentioning. McKinsey, of 1719 respondents, 37% report some EBIT impact from enterprise AI. High performers just 6%, unchanged from last year. Radiology isn't replaced. About 3/4 of FDA AI devices are imaging, with AI drafting reads and flagging urgents, changing work, not jobs. Cheshire Academy in Connecticut uses red, yellow, green homework plus teacher prompt training. No single product lock-in. Student-facing feedback stays blocked on quality and privacy. That's all 60 stories for today. We publish a new briefing every day, so hit follow and you won't miss one. This has been Rebabel. See you tomorrow.